No, I don't have it, by the way. Cause I ain't not trying to get into this situation.
So it goes underground. Huh. That's it. That's our way out. Lieutenant Branna! Marvin! It's time to go. Hey, Marvin. We need to get you to a hospital right now.
No, save yourself.
Come on, I've got you.
Go!
Look, we can still make it out of here together. Just
It's too late. I tried, Leon, but I couldn't stop it. We can't let this thing spread. It's on you now. Just go.
I understand.
Well, can I at least have your gun or something? Because you ain't gonna need it. Talk about the story real quick. So Resident Evil 2 was actually developed and published by Capcom in 1998, and they focused on puzzles, exploration, and combat in this, zombie apocalyptic setting. There's different aspects of the original story that are still in this game, and they are also keeping the same characters and the same feel, but the story is changed a little bit. You're gonna see a little difference from the original, but it's still, a lot of it is still the same. Some of the main character, or the two main characters, are actually Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield. Leon is a rookie cop, and Claire is the sister to Chris Redfield, if you guys don't remember from Resident Evil 1. And the game bases around you playing either Leon's story or Claire's story, with different weapons, and both having their own separate set of weapons and missions and things like that. Ada Wong does return, and she is playable, which is pretty cool. I enjoyed that a lot. She was a cool character, had her own unique system where she, intercepted through this device thingy. It was really cool that they added that into the puzzle scheme. And the story basically is a zombie apocalypse. I mean, if you don't know Resident Evil, that's what it is. It's a zombie apocalypse taking place in what they call Raccoon City, and the city's overrun, and they're basically, escaping in this Raccoon police station. So I was running 60 FPS on this game. Definitely was able to get some good graphics on here. It looked amazing. If we're talking about the storyline and the actual game, you're gonna play as Leon or Claire, as I said. They both have distinguishing story plots and narratives. There's different weapons for each character, which is pretty cool. I played as Leon in my run through, so he had the shotgun and the pistol, and it was pretty dope. Took me about 18 to 20 hours, maybe less if you're good for one character. Maybe I just suck, but it took me about 18 to 20 hours, and I'm pretty sure it could take you less if you really, run through it quickly. But still a lot of gameplay time there. And there's 3 what if stories in the free Ghost Survivors DLC that you can play with the game, to give you some extra content in there as well, or extra gameplay in there. Now, talking about graphics, right? So you can get a really smooth gameplay and 60 FPS on consoles for this game. If you play this like I did on PC, it obviously looks amazing. Frame rates are great. There's great lighting and textures. I feel like they really improved on the lighting and textures. I mean, realistically, if you look at the old Resident Evil, it's almost, way different as far as the environmental aspect of it, and gameplay, but the lighting and textures look amazing. Some of the movements is lanky, kind of stiff, but I mean, that's kind of known in the Resident Evil trilogy, so it doesn't really affect the gameplay. If anything, it's actually fun to play like that once you get the hang of it. That's what Resident Evil is known for. There were just minor bugs like lickers, teleporting randomly to me coming out of the door as we're fighting. Nothing major. Definitely didn't ruin the game for me, but You know, there were times where zombies caught me, even though I did run past them, and little things like that. But it didn't ruin the game for me. Animations and the environment were superb. I feel like I'm actually playing a horror film, you know what I mean, inside of a horror film. It was great. And I love the feel that you get. You really feel scared, and you know, like as you're going through this police station and these different aspects of the laboratory, and you're going through the sewers, you feel like you want to survive. You know, you want to find everything you can and continue to move, because you know you're just trying to stay alive in this zombie apocalypse, and it's dope. The zombie AI is scary as hell. The way that they move at you, their scream, move it, you alive. Run! Go, go, go! Damn it! Fuck, fuck, fuck! Eat that, eat that, eat that, and fucking leave me alone. The voice animations are amazing. The way that they groan and move their head and twitch when they come at you, and when they're eating other, you know, dead people that are in that area, whatever it may be, it's really great. The cutscene scripts are pretty tacky in a sense, but I didn't really think about it too much because this is Resident Evil. We're remastering it, and at the time we're talking about a 1998 game. The story is like that, and I appreciate that they kept true to a lot of the storyline, and they didn't try to make it something it wasn't. So, you know, although it was tacky and you're gonna get that sense of that, the story was actually really good and fit the game. The shooting is super tight. I love the death animations, the way that the bodies just plop on the floor once they die. It's really good. You're gonna see like almost like they're twitching in a lot of these zombies once you kill them, but nothing crazy. It's just a weird animation that I would see. The body dismemberment when you shoot zombies and their head blows off, or you know, whatever, is freaking amazing. I loved it. It really adds on to the gameplay for sure. Alright, let's talk about gameplay real quick. So the gameplay was extremely fun, to say the least, right? If you haven't watched my walkthrough, I got so many jump scares that literally just caught me by surprise and scared the crap out of me. It definitely added to the fear factor of this game. The audio and the sound create an immersive apocalyptic environment, and the way the zombies moan and all of that good stuff really scared me shitless, actually, to be honest with you. You know, talking just about the sewer scene itself, the sewer levels, you know, when you're really in there, you get to see like the dirtiness and all of that sewer manure and all that crap, and it just adds on amazingly to that level in that specific part of the game. Now the puzzles are difficult. They require you to really kind of think. For me, I had to like really think about the puzzles, which I enjoyed. I did get annoyed, and I was like, you know, at one point I said fuck this, but you know, once you get it packed and you figure out how everything works and how to do the puzzles, you know, you feel this sense of accomplishment, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I did it, you know what I mean? And I try not to use any walkthrough, so when I was going through the gameplay, you know, I personally felt so good just getting a puzzle or finding the missing key or a missing part of whatever the puzzle was, and it was a good feeling. The loot system is it annoys me, but it makes sense, right? So I can't sit here and say the loot system sucks. That's one of the most, you know, memorable parts of this game. A lot of times you're gonna see that there's not enough space, where, you know, as you're scavenging, you're gonna have to preserve more ammo and, you know, put things in your storage box. You're gonna have to move things around, you know, combine things and things, like discard a lot of used items. So it's a creative system, and I really liked how you have to really think about the things that you hold, and you know that you don't have enough space and you got to preserve all this ammo. You really have to think about your moves as far as the looting goes. The zombies in the game are pretty easy. They don't run at you. They're not anything crazy. If you played the new Resident Evil demo, which is came out a few weeks ago or a week ago or something like that, you'll see that the zombies in that game compared to this one are a little more challenging. They take more hits. There's a lot more zombies. So this one, they're not super hard, but they do come at times where you don't really see them. Sometimes they scare you and shit like that. So it's pretty cool. The lickers are a great challenge. I hated them. I fucking hate lickers, but you know, they're really horrifying. So they add a great challenge. There were times where I was stuck because I had to either run from a licker or kill one, and you know, they're super hard to kill. So that was a pretty good addition as well. Mr. X is in the game, so he's scary, but you know, he's easy as well to dodge just because the way he walks is super slow. But he does add this really, you know, horrific, you know, noise, the kind of addition to the noise. Like, you're going through all these different areas and looking at all these different things and trying to get loot, and you're trying to, you know, get more pieces to your shotgun or whatever, and you would see Mr. X, or you would hear his boots coming at you, and you knew he was close and you could hear him coming. So that really immersed me into this you know, a police station that was overrun, and then this big scary looking guy in a fucking trench coat. It was, yeah, Mr. X was well done in this game. Hey, are you here? Where are you at? Where are you at? Listen, man, I had a rough day. All right, I'm doing pretty shitty, buddy. The William Birkin levels, I think there's 3 of them that you go through with Leon at least. So that was some difficult. That was probably the most difficult. If anything, you do fight him again. I think it's on his 3rd form or something like that. If you don't know about the William Birkin, you know, G virus and all that backstory, you should definitely look it up. But there's 4 or 5, I think, forms of that monster that he was able to create. So on the last level, I think you're fighting against his 3rd or 4th phase of that disease or whatever. But it's really fun. That level specifically was easy. I didn't think it was that hard, but his other levels were pretty difficult and they were fun to play. Now, the backtracking, right? A lot of people know this game for its backtracking. Even though it is quite repetitive, I wasn't mad at it. And simply because you expect that from Resident Evil. You expect to backtrack. If it's a remaster and they're keeping to its roots, I appreciated that they did that. And you know, even though it was backtracking a lot, you felt good, like I said, getting these different keys and all these missing components and having to go back, and once you find them, you know, you feel good about unlocking a certain part of the game or unlocking a certain perk, like a new gun or whatever it may be. So the backtracking repetitive, but it works with the game, and you know, I think it doesn't take away from the enjoyment that I had. There's a great mapping system. I like the way that it lets you know when a room is actually looted. When it's completely looted, it'll let you know by making the room white, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not, you'll see that it's red, which means there's still items that you have to find. So you know, even with the items in your inventory, if they have a check on them, it'll show you that it's ready to discard that item. So I definitely appreciated that, and I loved the map system because it was definitely easy to navigate in that sense. Some little minor things that kind of I didn't like. So there's no indicator to know when zombies are dead. Like I said, if you've played the Resident Evil 3 demo, the zombies, if they fall and you kill them for sure, then you'll see it actually shows you in like almost like your screen just goes white, or it does this motion, and you'll see that they're dead. So this time around in Resident Evil 2, it doesn't have that. You don't really know when they're dead, so you'll you'll drop a zombie, but they'll come back alive and you wouldn't know. So maybe people like that because of the challenge that it gives, the difficulty that it adds. But for me, it was kind of annoying. I just kind of want to know when they're dead because, you know, that's just what I like in this game. There's no checkpoints, as far as I know, so you can't just, you know, die and go back to the same place. When I started the game, I wasn't in the habit of saving, and so I would die, and you know, I have to start from like my last save point, you know, and it was really annoying. So I really wish they had some type of checkpoint system as far as maybe the bigger levels, when you complete a bigger part of that level or something. If they added that, that would have been really good as well. And then there's kind of a lack of character depth. You know, there's no you know, co-op scenes in the sense of like someone's helping you in the scene. Is mainly you're alone for most of the game and not really interacting in combat scenarios with other characters. I mean, you barely see Claire. You do have one level with Ada where you guys are in the sewers and kind of like towards the end of the game, but overall a lot of there's a lack of character depth in as far as the interactions with characters. So what do I give Resident Evil 2 Remastered? The game was amazing. I love how it stood in its roots with the original Resident Evil 2. How it kept that same, you know, especially with the gap in time, that same environment and the same feeling you get of, you know, zombies and the whole zombie theme. And this game really, you know, it created a zombie genre. I mean, this is one of the first games that we've seen that was zombie oriented, so you gotta give props where it's due, and I think they did an amazing job with the remaster. I'm excited for Resident Evil 3. This game is super dope. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 final verdict. If you haven't played it, if you're a big fan of zombie games, or if you're a big fan of Resident Evil, you gotta cop the game, play that thing. It's amazing. I'll see you guys on the next video. This is it for this review, post review of Resident Evil 2 Remastered. Until next time, see ya, peace out.